Right. So this is what generally an RPA from the context of Appian BPM is all about. Because as we all know, whenever we are working on uh, Appian as a BPM tool, right? So which is a low-code platform to develop and build business process management applications. Nowadays, even we are working on RPA tools also, like because if you want to automate any process or if you want to work on any kind of automation projects and all, it's always important for us to create different Appian projects using different tools, something like PIPath, Blue Prism, OpenSpan, right? So these are all different automation anywhere. These are the different tools we use for RPA, robotic process automation. Means if you want to create an automation process for the projects and all, right? So that whatever the process, existing process can be continued further. This is what generally RPA is all about. So when it comes to the Appian projects itself is concerned using as an Appian, Appian has an advantage where Appian has an advantage of RPA, right? So robotic process automation, whatever the task to be created, even that also we can do. So if you want to create a task being into the role of a business analyst or a developer or an admin role, because see, this is not something which I was confined, my training is confined only for a role of a business analyst or an admin or a developer, irrespective of the kind of role what we are playing. It's always important to have hands-on experience over the RPA, Appian business process management tool. In this regard, it's always important for us to know about how to create robotics tasks and all everything is what something we must be knowing. So if you want to create any kind of robotic tasks and all, here you can see there is an option called add, right? So wherein you can see here, right? So for example, task, right? So let's say the task is about execution. Okay, so execution is what something which we are creating. Now, whatever the filter regular expressions do we have and all everything can be added to the existing ones. So whatever the execution we have done and whatever the tasks we have created, whatever the tasks was created by us and all everything, we can be seen here. See here you can see one task was created which is called execution hour. Okay. Like this, if you want to create any kind of tasks and all, whenever you are working on the Appian, which is RPN, which is a business process management tool, whenever you are connecting to an RPA to create any kind of robotics tasks or something like this is what something which normally we can use it. And whatever the records you want to see, right? So either the records can be of 10 or 50 or 100, right? So whatever the records do we have, all the records we can see over here. At the same time, if you want to create any kind of filters and all everything to the existing application, so even that also can be done. It's not only about adding the new filters to the existing application, either tasks and all. At the same time, it's always important for us to make some changes in the filters and all everything is what something which we have to be performed. In this regard, so it's always important for us to create some dashboards, which is important. And that is what something which we have done. Now, when it comes to the tasks, right, robotic task itself is concerned as we have already created an robotics task here. Now, if you want to create a new robotic task and all, here you can see there is an option for Appian Designer because designing a task is important. Depends on the kind of process workflow of a particular application, whatever you are creating. Because in the last session, I have shown you a point of sale system is an application I have taken. So using POS application, what we can do, we can create, right? So we can create a project here. You can see there is a project of pure point of sale system, which was already created. So this process is what something which we have to be created. So here you can see as an Appian designer, we have created a project and whatever the tasks you want to create or whatever the task you want to perform and all everything. For that, it's always important for us to create this process models, recording types, all that. Means if you want to create any kind of process model from the beginning, so creating a new process model and all everything can be done over here. For example, process model for billing. Okay, I'm just writing it as billing. Okay, because point of sale system is for billing system. I mean to say that process model is what something which normally we can call it as a billing part, right? So this is what something which we have created as a billing, right? So here review the process model for security purpose, right? So this is where generally the billing was. Just clicking on save. Just wait for a moment. Yeah. Right. So here, in here it will store. Okay, whatever the process models we have created for the existing projects, you can see here. In this process model, we have created one process model which is for billing for a point of sale system based on the tasks. Because whenever we are working on the robotic tasks and all, if you want to work on tasks and all using these robots, right? So whatever the robots I'm talking about, if you want to use any kind of robot tools and all by having usage of operation console, because end of the day you must be having an option to use operation control for operation console for sure. So once we have taken it, so this process models and all everything we can create here. So this is how generally application process Appian process model looks like. Now here, if you want to create a process model for a particular billing process, right? So how the billing process will be taken place and how to create the process and all everything using the required workflows and as well as the events, whatever you can see over in the left-hand side, using all these and all, this process model can be created so that the workflow and process model will be understood to the technical team well in advance by the developers and all. And whatever the required logic has to be implemented for this particular application for BPN application can be done by the developers accordingly. This is what something all about this process model at the same time knowing about RPA followed by the process models at the same time building an application using Appian designer, right? So all these all about, right? So how to create this process model, how to create the workflows and all everything that we'll be discussing in the next session. Okay.